Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and another card making video. This is actually episode 4 of my September stamp set of the month series. This month I have been featuring the stamp set called Bunny Burrow from Trinity Stamps, and I'm bringing you new ideas every week. So this is week 4, and we are making slimline cards this series because Trinity Stamps has some amazing slimline dies that I'm in love with. So I'm making a fall inspired card today and a little cute thing to go with. And I am giving away the card in today's video. All you have to do is leave a comment below and I will randomly draw a winner that will be announced on next week's video. That's right, episode 5 comes out next week because there's 5 Tuesdays in the month of September. We get a bonus week. So also I gave away, or I am giving away, one of the cards from last week's video, and the winner of that card was randomly selected and will appear across the screen right now. Thank you so much everybody for watching and all your support. I really appreciate you. And now let's get to stamping. So here is the Bunny Burrow stamp set. I'm going to lay out a few images that I want for my card and project today. I already have the Bunny Burrow actual burrow stamped out. I am also using the Mouse House stamp set as well as the Shoe Sprite stamp set, which I have not shown in this video series yet, but also designed by the same artist. And then I'm going to add a few extra leaves from that Mouse House stamp set because I want to create a fall scene. So to color out this shoe, I am starting with my lightest color, which is E25, and kind of going around where I want my darkest area to be to saturate the paper so that darkest color will blend out a little bit better. My darkest color here is E59, and I'm adding that just where the shadows will be, and I guess my light source is coming from the top right. It's not something that I really super pay attention to. When I color, I just want to have fun. And for me, overthinking things like the light source isn't always fun, but maybe for you it is. So I encourage you to just enjoy your coloring. My mid-tone there was E27, and then I went over it again with my E25. I decided the accents on this card should be blue. I just did a card that was a fall card and the colors were orange and blue. And when I was planning out this card and thinking about the background, there's some mountains in it and I wanted the mountains to be blue. So I decided a blue and orange kind of inspired color palette would be perfect for this card. So that's why this little shoe house has the blue accents. Now I'm doing my roof. I'm also doing a 3-color blend. My lightest is E13, my mid-tone is E23, and my darkest is E25. I wanted it to be fairly neutral because you could really have fun coloring up this shoe all different colors, but I just wanted to have it be more neutral for my fall scene. Also, I felt that these little people in this Shoe Sprite stamp set are maybe, you know, in my story anyway, they could maybe be hobbits, because the Bunny Burrow stamp set has that burrow that feels like a hobbit should be living in it, if not the animals. And so I just thought I would take the animals out of this card, as much as I love them so much, and use these little people as like the hobbits that maybe live in this little neighborhood. And so there's a shoe and then the burrow in the back. And my thought even when I was making the scene is that maybe you would open up the shoe and they live there, but then there's like a tunnel over to the burrow and they're connected somehow. I don't know. You know, the woman that lives in the shoe has so many children, she doesn't know what to do. Well, I guess they decided they would dig a tunnel and have another house, an add-on. Yeah, renovation. That's what she decided because she's clever. So So I'm just coloring up the steps. I figured they were probably made of wood, so they're brown. And then I do finish out coloring up that chimney with the same colors I used on the heel of the boot, and added a little bit of yellow to the windows to give them a soft glow. And that finishes up the boot. I will take my white gel pen and come in and finish up the shoe with some highlights. And doesn't that just bring this colored image to life? I love it. All right, so now for the Bunny Burrow. I challenged myself that the next time I colored this, it was not going to be green. So for a fall scene, I thought, you know, the colors are changing. So maybe this burrow is turning golden yellow. So I used my Y17 marker, and now I'm going over that with my E13. And this is going to help give me that golden color when I color over it with my Y17. So I'll just glaze over that marker, and then I'm also coloring beyond and past that. So I kind of am creating another tone, another shade of this color by coloring over that E13. And then I will blend that out with my Y08, and then back with my lightest color of Y15. So there we have it, a cute yellow or golden burrow, and I colored in the window and the door and the stones. I don't actually end up using those stepping stones though in today's card. So I'll finish up all that coloring and die cutting and set that aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and create a background for this card. There's actually several layers, and I'm going to be using PanPastels to create my background today. If you haven't used these before, they are a very rich and creamy substance that maybe you could compare it to chalk if you've ever used chalk in this form before, but it's so much more. It's like chalk is for preschool, and these are like for artists. This is artist quality pastels. So I'm going over my golden yellow there with some actual gold shimmer pan pastel, and it will lighten it up just a tiny bit, and it does give the hint of shimmer, which kind of hard to see right there. And then I'm going to splatter that with my gold silk and set that aside to dry. And I'm actually going to make two panels with yellow, and one I'm not going to put the gold over, so it's a little bit darker. And then this panel, I'm doing phthalo blue. It always makes me think of Bob Ross when I hear or say phthalo blue. It might be the first time I've ever said phthalo blue, but it reminds me of Bob Ross. So there's that one. And then I wanted to show you, you can blend the PanPastels together, and you need so little to do this. You really just need to touch that pan of pastel 1 or 2 times, and you can see there I blended up and made green, and you can clean your soft tool off with your paper towel. So if you get any dust when you're doing this, you know you've picked up too much color, which I definitely did here on this particular panel. So I have to remind myself I only need like 2 little swipes across there. I added some blue splatter to that, and now I'm going to create the sunset. So I'm starting in with this dark red, and I'm blending that so that it gets lighter as it goes towards the top, because I'm also going to bring in another color and blend this for a sunset look. So we have my orange here that will come down and blend over the top of that red. They blend so easily. It is so quick and so fast to blend these, and they are so rich and creamy. They're amazing. All right, so that's going to get some gold splatter for a sunset look, and then I will set that aside to dry. And once these are dry, I like to add a fixative spray. This is for PanPastels, it's for pastels, it's for charcoals. I didn't actually spray it here, but you want to have it in a contained environment and a well ventilated area. So this is what the PanPastels come in where I bought them, at the Spellbinder shop. They come with actually 7 pans in this little container, and then there's 3 holes so you can add singles in there, which I have done. There is a lid that comes with it. You can screw the lid on one of them, and then they all screw together so you could stack them up if you didn't want to keep them in the pan. And as far as I know right now, at the time this video is coming out, PanPastels are on a huge sale. So I will link that for you below if you want to check out all that they have. All right, this is the Wonky Stitched Wilderness Slimline die set from Trinity, and it's fabulous. Some of the dies in this set don't die cut. They pierce into the paper. I'm going to show it to you, so you watch and wait because it's amazing. So let's die cut this out, and it just cut for me a panel that is 8.5 by 3.5, and look at those stitched wonky lines. They're so cute. I love it. All right, so now I'm going to die cut just the I'm going to die cut this panel so it will be just the bottom of the card, and then I'm going to try and piece this together so I have the top is the sunset, the middle is the mountains, the bottom is a hill. It didn't go well. I'm going to end up redoing this, but I just wanted to show it to you. I don't know why, but sometimes things don't go the way they go in your head, and you think, it would be so much easier if I just did that. Why didn't I think of that, right? So now I'm going to take these wavy borders and die cut a little strip of grass to go at the very bottom of the card. But I like having all of them with the wonky stitched edge so it lines up even though they're different panels. So I'm taking a hill from that same wavy border set and die cutting the top of that, and I'm just like laying out my pieces to try and figure out where I want to die cut them, how it's all going to fit together, and it really does help, except not so much with the mountains. I don't know what happened. So there's my Bunny Burrow going to go in, and then I'm going to bring out the mountain die from this Wonky Stitched Wilderness Slimline die set and figure out where I want those mountains to go, but also trying to get my wonky lines to match up. It didn't work out. It just didn't. So here you'll see me try. Also, another thing I did not like about this panel was the green, how it fades from the yellow to the green to the blue. I actually didn't like it. When I got everything all on the card, it looked, I just didn't like it. So then I decided I am die cutting an entire panel of that wonky slimline, and then I will spray or spotter it, and then I'm going to die cut the mountains, and then I know it's going to line up because I'm just going to line it up with the bottom of the card. So here I am again, laying everything out how I want it to go and figuring out where I want this sun setting and little stars. So these dies right here aren't going to cut the pieces away. They're going to create stitched lines into the paper. It's cool. I love it. So there you just have a subtle thing going on in the back. So now let's assemble all the things. Our mountains, our hill, our grass, and then of course all those cute stamped and die cut things, because all these stamps I use today have coordinating dies. I added tape to the back of my burrow and inlaid that window, and the reason why is when you die cut this out, the door will die cut so you can open and close it, and the window will cut out because there's dies in this Bunny Burrow stamp set that will cut pieces. Like you could paper piece your window, and it's awesome. It's in my first video. You can check that out. So now I assembled all these stamped elements on the front, putting them down with adhesive and also foam squares. And then I am using the Happy die set that I was telling you about. But I will tell you, the Happy die set, it coordinates with the Happy stamp set, but it doesn't cut out the stamped image. The stamped image is bigger. So I layered those up and actually die cut the blue one from a scrap of my PanPastel background. And then I stamped Ever After on there, and I didn't like that either, so I'll end up redoing that too. And I just glued that down to my card base. And then with my leftover pieces, I'm going to go ahead and dress up the inside of the card because I love doing that. I didn't always. I used to always leave the inside blank, and my husband would look at my cards, he'd open them up and be like, what about the inside? I don't know. I ran out of mojo. So I decided to challenge myself a while back, and I was, you know, hit and miss, and sometimes I would be inspired. And then the more I did it, the more I got like the hang of it, and as I would be making the card, I would be thinking of things to put on the inside. So now I love doing it. It really brings some of the fun from the outside of the card through to the inside. All right, so now I stamped the Ever After onto a piece of white. I'm going to die cut that with a banner die. When I stamped it over the orange, it just kind of looked green. I don't know, it didn't stand out enough. I wasn't happy. So therefore the banner, I'm going to tuck the end under that Y, and then it will just hang off that front panel a tiny bit. And I think it was just the thing to fix my sentiment. So now it says Happy Ever After. And that finishes up the card for today. I love this fall scene. And now we're going to make something cute. So when you order from Trinity Stamps, you get a little baggie that has tea, a little strump waffle, and sequins, a sample of sequins in it. So I thought it would be fun to make a holder for the tea bag. So I'm going to take one of those wonky stitched pieces and score it at 3.5, 3 3/8, and at 7 1/4 to create this holder. I'm going to die cut a circle out of that first flap, and then here is where the boo-boo happened. I don't even know, but my camera recorded a picture for 10 minutes and didn't actually record me splattering this panel or anything else. So I splattered it, I added some grass, I added some sentiments, some images, and I put the sides together with some double stick tape. It was amazing. You had to be there. But that is my cute thing for this video nonetheless. And I think it's really easy to do with that wonky stitched die and makes for a really cute tea holder that you could keep very simple. You could also tie it with a piece of ribbon instead of adding the little Velcro, and it holds a tea bag perfectly. And isn't it fun just to get something little like that? I always think so. So that is today's episode, episode 4. I will be back again next week with episode 5. I love it when I get a bonus week. And I will have more of this amazing stamp set for you. I hope that you have enjoyed this. If you're interested in any of the products I use, they are below. And if you are new here, I would love for you to subscribe. I will see you all again very soon. Happy stamping! Bye!